those men that beat their wives, how do you see them?
I'm seeing them as beasts.
So how do you see those men that abuse their wives or their girlfriends?
Weak.
How do you see this kind of women that actually want to leave the marriage for the safety of their lives?
Marriage is a thing of understanding.
Advisable for a man or for a woman to abuse his or her partner in a relationship or marriage? No.
What makes them to do that thing? They are not mature in
In
the heart,
mind.
in mind.
Are you in a relationship?
Yes.
Being in a relationship, okay? Over time, we've heard stories of abuse in relationships and marriages. Okay, we have heard of the husband beating the wife or the boyfriend beating the girlfriend, and then vice versa too. So, do you think is that advisable for a man or for a woman to abuse his or her partner in a relationship or marriage?
No, it's not advisable.
Why do you think it's not advisable?
It's not advisable because though there's a difference between a relationship and a marriage. Marriage is commitment, and marriage is for better for worse. So the best thing is for them to just settle things and get things right for themselves. But for ah, a relationship whereby you have not married the girl, or you people are not married and you be beating the girlfriend. Someone like me, how though it depends on the kind of love they both have. Yes, some people will some people will just leave the relationship, and some people will stay and still enjoy it.
Okay, so you're telling us that it depends on how the love is. So if they are really really in love, then it is necessary for the guy to beat the girl, or maybe that they shouldn't even beat, like the man shouldn't even beat the girl at all.
If they are really in love, there is no relationship without arguments or quarrel. So it's not even right for a man to be beating the woman if they are really in love. But if they are not that in love, the best thing is for them is just for them to just quit.
Separate, right?
Yes, separate.
Okay, so have you been in an abusive relationship before?
Not really.
Or would you advise someone to,
I will
go
not.
into it?
I will not advise someone to go into an abusive relationship. The best thing is advising someone to, at least, if you are going into a relationship, be in a relationship that you'll be loved and you will love the person too.
Okay, so you're telling us in a nutshell that no matter how much the love is, that it is not necessary. I mean, if you're being abused in your relationship or marriage, you could just walk away, right?
You shouldn't walk away. You guys can still settle things and get things right. Yes.
But don't you feel that a man that actually hits his wife or her partner, if he actually hits you in the relationship for once, that he will keep doing it all the time?
He will stop one day if he really loves you. But the worst thing is when the woman is beating the husband. That's the worst thing that will ever happen.
Okay, thank you very much. And I'm hoping to see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are you married or you're in a relationship?
I am married.
You're married. Okay. So do you advise abuse in relationship or marriage?
No, I don't. I don't. I know being abusive in your marriage is a very negative thing to do, and there is no progress if you indulge in that kind of lifestyle. It's something that affects both your mind, your spirit, and your body, and you cannot move forward if you indulge in such a lifestyle. So I don't accept it. I don't like it. I don't support it.
Okay, so you know that sometimes women can actually be very dramatic and stubborn.
Yeah, they can actually be dramatic and stubborn and all that, but you just have to kind of find a way to deal with those their flaws, those their shortcomings. You just need to find a way to navigate in between those flaws, because we are human beings, we are not perfect, and the only thing you need to do is look for the perfect side of that person you're having a relationship with, and make up for the not so perfect side. You just have to learn how to deal with it.
Okay, so how do you see those men that abuse their wives or their girlfriends?
Weak, weak in the mind.
Okay, thank you very much. Are you married?
Yes, I am.
Okay, what's your take on abuse on marriage?
Well, it's not advisable, and it's not good to abuse, whether the man abusing the wife or the wife abusing the husband. It's not a good thing.
Okay, over time we've actually heard stories of women that dies in their family in their marriages because of abuse from their husband. And then there are also some women that have decided to take a bold step and leave the marriage despite the fact that the society will actually see them as not being able to cope, and then being able to bring the families all together. So how do you see this kind of women that actually want to leave the marriage for the safety of their lives?
Marriage is a thing of understanding, as far as I know. And if there is no understanding in a marriage, and the marriage, I've also heard so many, especially women, being beaten to death or abused and they lost their life. For me, it's an individual thing. If you know that the marriage you're in, there is no understanding and is leading to take your life. For me, if you decide to leave, it's for your own safety. So I don't see anything bad if you want to leave.
What about in those marriages that they are children already, like they are kids already? Would you say advise the girl to leave?
That's why we have court marriages where they will have professionals to advise you on how to go about it. So for me, you have children and you die and leave them young, of what benefit?
Okay. So what's your advice for those women that are married, but then they are still in that marriage because of the sake of their children, but they are still like those women that actually get beaten by the husband, and then they are still staying in the marriage for the safety of their children. What's your advice to them?
The advice I will give might not suit them, but my own advice is, if you value your children more than your life, then you stay in the marriage. But if you value your life, then you have to go away knowing that your children will grow to meet you again.
Thank,
Life is important.
thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's really nice having you around, and we are hoping to see you next time.
You're welcome.
What's your take on abusive relationship?
My take on abusive relationship is that it's not good for a man to beat his wife. How will you be someone that you paid on her head and you are beating her? It's very bad. Just like some of our some of our women, they have lost their life because of the way men are beating them, which is very bad. So for me, I think I know very well that it's not good for a man to beat his wife, no matter what. You don't have that right to beat your wife. You might kill her or you might cause damage in her body. So it's not good for a man to beat his wife.
So those men that beat their wives, how do you see them?
I'm seeing them as beasts and as heartless men. Yeah, people that don't have hearts.
Okay, thank you very much. It's nice to have you around. So how do you see men that abuse their wives?
Men that abuse their wife, one, it may cause from the man or cause from the woman. It's about since 2013 that I got married. I married 2014.
Okay.
I've not beat my wife before. So I used to hear it from people. And I've even heard that some husband beat their wife and kill. And it used to be a surprise thing to me because unlike me, I've not slapped my wife since I married her 2013. Oh, 2014. I've not touched her before. So a man that is in the right senses, that beat his wife, no matter what your wife did, I think I would say that a man that is in all right senses will not just be beating the wife just like that. If you really love that woman before you went into her life.
Okay. So what is your advice to those men that beat women generally?
There are even some bad boy. Let me use the word bad boy that you see on the street. Some of them make a covenant that they cannot beat woman, no matter what a woman does to them. They'll just use way and leave the house or leave where the lady is. So for me, I will advise whosoever, as a man, integrity man that have potential, it does not take anything for you to break that yoke. So you should not be beating woman. You know, woman, God treasure woman. So I will advise that men should not be beating their wife or their girlfriend. What makes them to do that thing? They are not mature in
In
the heart,
mind.
in mind, and some of our brothers there, be mature before you go into any relationship,
Wow,
so
brothers,
that
I hope you're hearing.
when a lady make your heart to stir up, just find way and dodge. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you
Thank you.
very much.